hear me all right with the wind out here. It's been very windy lately. But me and Lawrence went on a field trip here yesterday. Picked up a few more treasures. Went down by Fargo, North Dakota, which is about 5 hours from here. So a good 10-hour road trip yesterday. We left here at 6 and didn't get back until about 8 o'clock. So it was a long day, but it was a fun day. Got to see a friend's collection. Because I picked up these three bottom Allis Chalmers trip plows. They're pretty rough, but between the three, I hope to have enough parts to put together one good one. It'll be another long-term project. Like I said, they're pretty rough, but it should be a pretty fun time. These 3 and bigger bottom plows are a little bit more scarce than the other ones, 1 to 2 bottoms. If you find them, you gotta pick them up. So we get them unloaded here and I'll give you a better tour. Well, again, happy Sunday, everybody. We got these plows unloaded. I'm going to apologize again in advance for the wind noise on this because I'm sure it'll be horrible. It has been just super windy here this last recent history here. And we actually got a storm a-brewing here today. It's supposed to storm here tonight. It's already getting pretty gray. But I figured I'd come out here and give you a little bit of a walk around of these plows now that we got them unloaded. And kind of show you what I'm starting with. Like I said, they're pretty rough. But I think, I was looking at them here a little bit. I think there'll be enough to put together at least one 3-bottom and possibly a really good start at one 2-bottom plow. So I said there was 3 3-bottoms, and I'm not entirely sure what this plow started its life as. Currently it's a 2-bottom, but it has this support bar on it, just like the 3-bottom does. And the bracketry is a little bit different, like the lift mechanism, or adjustment mechanism rather. Like this is straight. Here, the 3rd beam would attach here and ziggle out right like this. Well, on a 3-bottom, at least these ones, this bracket is bent to compensate for the thickness of where that 3rd beam is spacing it out, right? This one's obviously been welded and fixed, but it's supposed to be like that. This other 3-bottom is the same way. This one's in better shape. It's ziggled out. So I'm not entirely sure if either this one started life as a 3 and somebody converted it to a 2 with some 2 parts, or it started life as a 2 and somebody started to convert it to a 3 with some 3 parts. I'm not enough of an expert to make that call which way it was, and I guess it really doesn't matter much at this point. It is what it is. It's a pile of parts, and whatever I can use, but it's kind of neat just to know what you have and what it started out as. My first reaction was to use this plow as my starting point as a 3. This one as my starting point is a 2, and then this one as a parts machine to put those other 2 together, right? That's what my initial reaction was, because like the levers on this one are good and the bracketry is good, and there's a few other brackets that are good on this plow that are broken on that one or that one. So I thought I would go that route, but the more I look at it, I think I might actually go about this differently, and I'll show you why. We're looking at this one, and if you notice, there's a bunch of shims underneath the support on top of the beam there and there. So something has been tweaked on this plow, and if you sight down it, you can kind of see there that the three beams are not in line. They're not level with each other, and they should be. So I'm not sure exactly what, but something is tweaked on this plow, the main structure of it. Whether it's this third beam is down or the other ones are up, I'm not sure. A guy would have to get some, straight edges and stuff maybe and try to decipher, because it's not this that's bent. You can look down that, and that's pretty darn straight. It's the beams themselves that are not in the same plane with each other. Whereas this plow, all that appears to be good. Everything is, pretty darn straight there. Hopefully you can kind of pick that up on camera. It's kind of hard to see. It's easier to look in real life, but things look pretty close on this particular plow. So seeing as there's a little bit maybe better structure, frame and everything on this plow, I might use this as my base to build off of, and take out, so to sidetrack here a second, this plow must have been sitting in a slough or something for a long time, because I mean it is rotten. It is just rusty, as rusty can be. I mean, look at this hitch. I mean, it's just a ball of rust. The bottoms are just caked in rust as well. I mean, it's crusty time. But there again, it's whatever, it is what it is. These three bottoms and bigger you just don't find very often. So like I said, I had the opportunity to get all these as a package deal at a very reasonable price, I think. So I picked them up and hopefully be able to put together, like I said, one decent plow out of them at the least, and maybe a start of a second. But anyway, what I was saying, take the frame of this one, since it appears to be good, take the whole axle assembly and everything off of this one, and probably all the bottom parts off of this one. Take the axle assembly off of this three bottom and put on it, and then take all the bottoms off of this plow, and whatever bottom parts are the best between the two, put together into one. And it kind of makes sense too, because initially I was looking at, like this has been broken and welded, and there's a few other parts, like the levers are broken. I have the other halves of the lever in the back of the truck. I'll show you them. But I was going to take all the parts from the other one and put on this one. Well, it kind of makes more sense even then, as far as that aspect, to start with this framework, because all that bracketry and levers and everything is in good shape on this one. So if you put a new axle under it and work on the bottoms, which need to be worked on regardless of which plow you start with, it kind of makes more sense than to start as this one as the candidate. It's a shame because the paint on that one is a little bit better than this one, but paint doesn't mean anything. It's all about function. The tail wheel we take off of this one, which is not too bad, just a few bolts, and that top spring and that whole tail assembly will come right off, because the tail wheel on this one is not quite good enough to use. Think that'll buff out? I can fix that, right? I don't think so. But we can take the tail wheel off of this one and put on there, because this one is in usable condition. It's actually, I can't spin it and show you here. Got them all sitting on cattle guards here, cattle crossing guards, so kind of up out of the dirt, a little bit easier to work on. I feel a couple of sprinkles coming down, starting to rain here. What else was I going to show you? But other than that, I mean, like I said, there should be enough parts here to put something together. there's a lot of, it's going to be a lot of work. There's a lot of love needed. You know, for example, you kind of laugh at some of these farmer fixes. So somehow they broke the end of the hubcap off here, axle cap, whatever you want to call it. And they took a end of a tin can and wired it on there just to kind of seal it up. It's just kind of comical that really that's the best you could come up with, but whatever. I guess you make do with what you got. Luckily, there's looks like a decent. I got enough other decent caps, like from these junk rims here, that they were cut off rims, and of course they're completely junk. But like the hubcap here looks all right if I can get it off without wrecking it. A lot of bent and broke parts, you know, like this is bent, and they got these added chains and springs to help support that. I suppose that's the weak link of these plows, where that axle comes up. This is about the only thing that really stops it, so that ends up getting bent. So they put these added pieces on to try to strengthen that a little bit. This one's the same way. It's been reinforced here, bent and welded and fixed and whatever. And this one's the same way. Got a rinky-dink piece of chain. And the bracket is whatever. I'm not even sure what shape that bracket is supposed to be in originally. I'm guessing this one's maybe close to what it should be. There should be a spring there to help assist the lift or whatever. That's on these other ones, so it's kind of nice that things that are missing on one are on the others. So it's there should be enough puzzle pieces here. These bottoms and stuff are not in great condition by any means. There's a lot of wear. Tips are all wore out. And I am far from an expert on plows, but even I can tell that that's really worn. You can just see pick that up on the camera. You can just see where it's worn there. The one thing I don't know yet, for sure, and anybody out there that is an expert on these is, please feel free to chime in and teach me some here. But I believe, are these number 2 Allis plows? Is that the right model designation? I know there's a few different versions. I think these are number 2s. I could be wrong though. And then I will be looking for a parts manual whenever for these as well, as I currently do not have one. So if anybody out there is seeing this and has one that you want to get rid of, I'm kind of looking for one. So yeah, I think that's about what I know at this point. I will keep you posted. Like I said, this will be a bit of a long-term project, because I have, as you guys probably know if you follow this channel at all, I have a lot of projects. And this one isn't real high priority, but start pecking away at it, at least get some of the easy things done. I might even do here today is take this hitch off, and you might laugh, but I'm going to try an experiment. A lot of guys swear by, when you got a real crusty thing like that that's been rusted because it's been sitting in water, is to take it off and put it back in water. Put it in a pail of water and let it soak for a while, and that loosens up all that rust. So you can start to take it all apart and see if anything is even remotely salvageable. I don't really have high hopes with this. It's pretty bad, but I got nothing to lose. I'm gonna take it off, try to soak it, free it up. If I can get any usable parts out of it, great. If not, whatever, it is what it is. Kind of like this lift mechanism. I'm not holding my breath that there'll be anything good left in there, but I'll get it apart and see. You know, there might be. You know, maybe the main casting might be usable. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll see. I guess I'll show you that. Those lift arms, they're in the back of the truck here. So here's the broken off lift arms that were on that plow. So their parts and pieces are here, so they could be welded back together. I'll probably just take the better ones and use them instead, but if nothing else, there would be some good parts. You got the handles and whatever. The top part is okay, if nothing else. So yeah, that's what I know at this point. I'm gonna grab a couple of tools here and maybe take a couple of things apart here and see what I can get done before it really starts to rain. And I will keep you posted. Talk about crusty. I don't know why I'm even bothering to even mess around with this, but I think it's just a challenge, just to see if by chance there's anything worth saving in this thing. I mean, it is just a ball of rust. But funny. Okay, it's raining. I guess it's time to quit. Oh, I got a little bit done between the sprinkles here though. Started taking this plow apart. No real rhyme or reason, know what I'm doing, just kind of picking away at it, taking things apart. I guess ultimately what I'm kind of trying to do is get this axle all loose so I can take it off, so I can put the axle from that plow on this plow. It's just about ready to come off. A couple more bolts here to finish taking off, and it should be pretty much loose. This stub axle is just about ready to come off as well if it needs to. I got the wheel itself off. I have to decide which axle on this side of the plow to use. Whether I use this one or that one. I'm guessing that one's actually going to be in better shape because this one is so wore out and loose that it's actually worn right through the collar here. So there again, we'll take it all apart, and whichever parts are better between. Well, there, quit raining now, sun came back out. Yeah, it's about time to call it a quits here anyway. About supper time. Anyway, like I was saying, pick the better of the two parts between everything, and we'll just put it back together with what I got. Yeah, I got it pretty much wraps it up for this week. Work on this as time and weather allows. I got this hub nut, or hub cap rather, loose, and I got this broken one off loose, and one for this junk wheel off. So yeah, it's coming along, picking away at it. I got the hitch off, so I can dunk that in a pail of water when I get home, let it soak for this week and see what it looks like. And then if that ends up working, I'll probably do the same with this monstrosity and see if there's anything worth salvaging there. Alright, I think I'll quit while I'm ahead here. No blood, only beamed myself in the head once on the lever here, so not too bad of a day. You're bound to get hurt a little bit working on this old iron junk, right? Or maybe it's just me. Alright, catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.